1, 2, 3, 4. This is no threat, just an invitation, a sense of belonging, a sense of inspiration.
So, Rewind the Film is much more of an acoustic experience. And by that, I don't mean that, that we're eating refried beans, around the campfire or anything like that. It hasn't gone that way. We're not banging on tins and stuff and just doing a hoedown. But it's a much more of a kind of woody kind of album, I suppose. But the full band is still playing, within that concept.
Show me the wonder I have seen, the birthplace of the universe. Show me the wonder I have seen, miracles move and reverse.
There's no doubt about the fact that if you're still in the band after 10 studio albums, and we're on our 11th and 12th at the moment, when they get released, we still kind of living the dream. I'm not saying that in a smug way, I'm saying that in a sense, with a sense of knowing that we're extremely lucky. And to know that you're still in a rock and roll band at the age of 44 is kind of, some people might view it as being preposterous, but also it's kind of, we do get a real kind of, it gives us a real shot in the arm when we realised the basic reality of our lives, and that kind of it renews you from a midlife crisis, hopefully.
The tapping pain of madness running through the veins. We may write in English, but our truth remains in Wales. Show me the wonder I have seen, the birthplace of the universe.
We were a band that kind of came, we were formed in the mid-80s, and then, we lived through kind of the Manchester scene, the Seattle thing, the Britpop thing, and the noughties. And, every time you release a record, something is different. And you go back to, the Holy Bible, and, when Richey was, still here, and you realise, none of us had mobile phones, and and there were still shops you go into, kind of where if you asked for a bottle of kind of mineral water, you'd be laughed out of the town, kind of thing. And so kind of, we've actually experienced, those changing times with the band. The band signposts that as well. It's mad to think that Richey, never kind of lived in the era of the download. He never downloaded anything. Yeah. So kind of, being in a band kind of heightens the sense of kind of like relentless change that goes on around you, I suppose. Right?
Show me the wonder I have seen, miracles move and reverse.
You can't escape the fact that kind of like Nick made friends with me in Oakdale Comprehensive because he probably took pity upon me because I was kind of I was the shortest in the class, and at one point I had a proper Woody Allen kind of National Health specs on with a patch underneath it because I had a turn in my eye, so I just literally was a walking target kind of thing. And Nick was kind of tall and kind of like cool, and he was captain of the football team and stuff. And so I always think that he took pity upon me, and kind of like and we started being friends. And Sean is my brother. We're cousins, but he is my brother. And that's just weird. It's weird that I can remember seeing Nick when I was 5 years old. I can remember seeing Sean when I was 3 years old. Yeah. I think. And Richey, Richey was always such an identifiable presence whenever kind of, because he lived 2 miles away from me. Yeah. But when I see him in school, he was, even back then when he was just a school kid, there was something about him. Yeah. And then round about the third form of comprehensive, he had a perfect Ian McCulloch haircut, Ocean Rain era haircut. And kind of like he was always very striking, and he was always quite nifty on the football field as well. And like he used to call him Teddy Edwards, kind of thing.
Libraries give us power. Their work came and made us free. Oh, what price now for a shallow piece of dignity?
if it did finish tomorrow and you look back at what you created, your place seems to be assured.
No, I mean legacy is a word for politicians, isn't it? It just is. And if you're thinking about a legacy, you're never going to deal with the present in a kind of in a proper fashion. If you're thinking about the future and how it holds you, in what esteem it holds you, you're never going to deal with what you should be doing at this very moment in time, because it's insane to actually care about what the world thinks about you when you don't exist anymore. Is an insane concept, really, I think.
I wish I had a bottle right here in my dirty face to wear the scars, to show from where I came.
It's not the deepest kind of way of dealing with things, but I think that if you actually deal with the present, kind of if we deal with the present, the future will take care of itself, basically.
We don't talk about love, we only want to get drunk.
But you don't feel like you're out of statesman, you feel as if you're just old. Amongst young bands, you don't feel like people look up to me. No, they do not look up to you. Young bands just do not give a flying wherever about you.
As we are told that this is the end, I design for life. I design for life. I design for life. I design for.
Guitar bands just not in the top 40, unless it's the new Coldplay single or Noel Gallagher. Guitar bands just don't get in the top 40. It is predominantly ruled by pop and a fusion of R&B and kind of and Europop and stuff and talent contest winners. And so you've kind of got to let go of that notion of having a song that sits in the cultural landscape along with the most popular TV program or the most popular book. Kind of things become narrower again, because at the moment, pop rules. So you've just got to really kind of be content with that, and you've just got to bide your time and hope that kind of that you're not going to mess up along the way like we have in the past, and just make the album that you really want to make, which sounds like the most trite, earnest thing you could ever say in the world, but you really have just got to aim to make the album that you want to make without any distractions.
As we are told that this is the end, I design